I don't know if you guys know this, but we have a new product in the house. It's been out for not quite a month now. It is our new ManiQ Keratin with fiber. Or no, sorry, backwards. ManiQ Fiber Gel with Keratin. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. We don't edit around here. We're just gonna go for it. Anyway, I love this stuff. I'm wearing it personally, but we have had some questions, Karen, about like, okay, it's beautiful, but it's kind of just natural looking. I want to have some fun.
Like, what else can I do with it?
Right, and something we hadn't thought about it actually. So you're gonna show us few fun things.
We're gonna do some kind of subtle looks, just things that are easy to use with the keratin fiber.
It really been a long day. Yeah. Keratin, we're gonna get this right. Hold it. ManiQ Fiber Gel with Keratin.
There we go.
We actually named it, and we still can't say it. Anyway, I think this is an important one. I love our community because they ask these questions that we didn't really think of, and Karen is here to answer that question for you, and I cannot wait to see what she comes up with.
All right, you guys, it sounds like a lot of you guys got our new ManiQ Fiber Gel with Keratin, and it sounds like you're loving it because you're asking a lot of questions as to what else can I do with it. So today I'm going to show you a bunch of different kind of subtle ideas, but things that you can do and things that you can use with your keratin gel. So the first thing I want to show you today, though, is just basically how to apply your product. Okay? Some of you are asking questions why is it so thick? Is mine too thick? Is it too thin? Am I putting on enough? So I just want to show you when you do pull the brush out of the bottle, it is going to be fairly thick. Okay? It's not like your traditional gel polish where it's going to be a little thinner. It's going to go on super smooth in one coat. This you are actually going to pick up a little bit more. Okay? So you're going to brush it on and keep your brush a little bit flatter on the nail rather than angled up, because if you angle your brush up, it's actually going to pull all of those fibers off the nail. If you keep your brush kind of a little bit flatter on the nail and do a little bit more of a float technique rather than a real press technique, that's going to go on much easier for you. Okay, so again, I'm just going to kind of float that over the nail, and we're just going to get a nice even coat. Okay. And you'll start to see, as you're brushing, you'll see a little bit of that fiber texture, but once you just stop brushing, let it settle out a little bit, and it's just going to kind of smooth itself out. So it'll look pretty glossy. We'll get it into the light and cure it, and then we'll do a second coat. So we'll do a second coat. Same thing, you're going to pick up a good amount of it. Keeping your brush flat on the nail, just brush through. Nice even coat, nice even coverage. Okay, come around your edges, make sure to kind of seal those edges and smooth everything out. Give it just a second to settle into place, and then again we'll put it back into the light. All right, so we've got our nails done, and I actually went ahead and did a coat. Actually, I did 2 coats on all 5 nails here. So I'm going to show you 5 different techniques that you can do with the ManiQ Fiber Gel. So the first question we've been getting asked a lot is, can I use the fiber gel with my gel polishes? And absolutely you can. You can use the Go Time or you can use the ManiQ Color. They both work great. I'm going to show you the Go Time polish today. Our Go Time is just our 1 step, so it works really great over the base layer of the keratin gel. Okay? So I'm going to just brush on our coat of color. It's adhering to that tacky surface over the keratin gel, okay? So you don't want to wipe off that sticky layer. You want to have that on there before you put your polish on. Okay? We'll go ahead and cure that. All right, so we've got our first coat of our Go Time polish on there. We'll do a second coat, and then it'll cure out. And with the Go Time, again, because it's a 1-step, we don't need to do our top coat. Now, if you are using the ManiQ Color, that's a different situation, okay? With the ManiQ Color, you're going to use the keratin gel for the base coat. You're going to do 2 coats of your color, and then you're going to use the ManiQ top coat over the top of that. So either way, if you're using the 1-step or the 3-step, you can definitely use your gel polishes over the keratin gel. All right, so that first nail is all set. Again, no tacky surface to wipe off because it's the one step. Okay, let's go to our second nail. So the next question people are asking is, can I do a glitter press into my keratin gel? And absolutely, okay? So again, we've done 2 coats of our gel, and then we're gonna leave that tacky surface on there, and I am using our crystal glitter today. We're just gonna do a really quick glitter press. So I'm gonna just use my makeup brush, tap into my glitter, tap onto the nail, dust off any extra, and that glitter's just going to adhere to that tacky layer just like we would do for a traditional glitter press. So we have that into our tacky layer. I like to put that into the light just for a quick 10 seconds just to kind of set that glitter into place, and again, just a really quick kind of freeze into place. Okay, so once that nail is done curing in the light, I'm going to come back and do 2 coats of my top coat to seal that in. So again, that base layer of the fiber gel is going to be our base for our glitter. We don't need an extra base coat underneath there. And we're going to do 2 coats of our top coat just to make sure that glitter gets sealed in there. And then we'll do our second coat. I like to do 2 coats of the top coat just to make sure that I get really good coverage and that I don't have any little bits of glitter poking out. Sometimes if you're using a larger glitter, kind of a chunkier glitter maybe, sometimes the edges of the glitter will stick out on the sides. So doing 2 coats of top coat is going to seal that in really well. And because we're using the ManiQ top coat, we're going to use the ManiQ Cleanse to remove that tacky surface. So again, a little bit on our lint-free wipe and just wipe off that tack. Now, anytime you're doing a glitter press, what I like to do is come back around the edges with just a buffer. I'm using our 180 buffer just to make sure you don't get any sharp edges of those glitters poking out. Okay, just kind of clean it up. It's not going to affect the bond to the nail, it's just going to clean up those edges. All right, the next thing people ask about is our foils. Okay, just our silver and gold foil, just the gold leafing. This is actually a really easy thing to use because we already have that tacky surface down on the nail from the keratin gel. So I'm just going to pick up a couple of little pieces of the foil and just set it down into that tacky surface. And you can place those pieces wherever you want. Just kind of press them down. I'm just using our gel brush. Doesn't have anything on the brush, just a kind of a clean, dry brush. And I'm just picking up and setting down wherever I want my foil to go. Okay. If you want to cover the whole nail, go ahead and do the whole nail. If you want just bits and pieces to add to your design, go ahead and add that. Just want to make sure that I press down that foil so it sticks right down into that tacky layer. And there's nothing poking up. And then I can go into my ManiQ top coat and seal that in. Okay. And again, with your foils, I like to do 2 coats of the top coat just to make sure that I get good even coverage and make sure that all of those pieces of foil are sealed into the nail. Okay, so brush on. We'll cure that in the light, and then we'll do a second coat of top. We'll come back and we'll do our second coat, and that's going to seal in everything just perfectly. So again, we're going to put that back into the light. We're going to do a full 60-second cure to cure all the way through. That nail again has been cured out. We're going to use our ManiQ Cleanse to remove that tacky surface. And that one is all set to go. All right, so fourth thing that we're going to use is our SlickPour. SlickPour is a really versatile product. You can use it with your acrylics, your hard gels, as a dipping product, and now we're going to be able to use it with our fiber keratin gel. Okay, so again, I've already got those 2 layers of our gel down, and it still has that tacky surface on it. So just like we did with our glitter press, we're going to use that powder, that SlickPour powder. I'm going to dip into my powder and onto the nail. Okay, into the powder and onto the nail. Now again, today I'm just doing a really subtle design, just kind of a sparkly light color here. You can use all of the different colors. If you want darker colors, you may have to add an extra coat of the color, but for today, we just have 1 coat of our color. And this one is Tinsel Times Two. So it's just a really pretty color. So now I'm going to go in again with my top coat. We're going to seal that layer in, and then we'll cure it. So again, anytime you're using either glitters or the SlickPour or anything that could get into your top coat, I always recommend having a separate bottle just for those products, so that if you're going onto another nail, you're not going to get glitter from your top coat onto that next nail. Okay, we'll go ahead and cure that one. Okay, so as I'm looking at this nail, I think I'm going to add another coat of our color, just this light silver. So we've got that tacky layer from our top coat on there. I'm going to just add one more coat to make that just a little bit darker. Again, if you're using a darker color, one coat might be just fine. But with this lighter one, I like to add just a second coat just to make sure I get good coverage. Okay, same thing, we'll add our top coat. Okay, so we have our top coat on there. We'll go ahead and cure that. So we did our second coat of color and we top coated. I'm going to do one more coat of top coat again just to make sure everything is sealed in there and everything is nice and smooth and even. Okay, we'll do a final cure on this one of 60 seconds, and again we'll wipe it off with the ManiQ Cleanse. Okay, so that nail is all set. So again, we're going to use our ManiQ Cleanse and just wipe that tacky surface. Okay, so the last nail that I'm going to show you is using our Mylar. Now Mylar can be a little bit trickier because it's a little bit chunkier. Okay, so I'm going to use our Raspberry Icy Mylar, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of our product out of the jar and just kind of spread it between my fingers here. I'm just going to break apart those little pieces. Okay, so at this point I'm going to go in with my ManiQ base. I like to use the ManiQ because it's a clear. You could put your Mylars into your wet keratin gel, but I actually like to use the ManiQ because this way the Mylar is going to get into it, but it's not going to get coated. So that pink from the keratin gel isn't going to cover. And then I'm going to just pick up little pieces and just kind of place them wherever I want. So when you're working with your keratin gel like this and you're just doing a really thin overlay, try to pick up the smaller pieces because sometimes the bigger, chunkier pieces don't necessarily sit flat onto the nail. Okay, so I'm just kind of placing the smaller pieces wherever I want them. You can mix and match your Mylars. You can use different colors of Mylar, however you want your design to turn out. Again, today we're just kind of doing some subtle designs, so we'll stick with just the one color for today. But remember, if you are adding any of these different things into your nails, make sure that you are charging extra. This does become a custom service once you do any extra outside your ordinary. Okay, so now we've got our Mylar placed into our ManiQ. We'll set that into place in the light. I'm going to come back with my ManiQ base and I'm going to do another coat over the top of this. When I'm using the Mylar, I like to use the ManiQ base at this point rather than going right into my top coat because I like the thickness of the base coat. When you're using the Mylar, it's a little bit chunkier, so I feel like the base coat will actually kind of encapsulate that a little bit better. So we'll cure that into place and then we'll go into our top coat. So that last layer is all cured. Again, I'm going to come back with my top coat. It's our ManiQ top coat. And we'll do one coat of the top coat to seal everything and give it a really good high shine. And one more minute into the light and it'll be cured. All right, so that last nail with the Mylar is done. Again, we're going to go back in with our ManiQ Cleanser, clean off that tacky surface. And all 5 of our subtle nail designs are set. So hopefully this kind of helped answer some questions for you as to what other things you can use with your keratin gel. If you've got any other ideas that you've tried, let us know in the comments.
got endless amounts of videos, so do not stop now. Click, watch, keep that going, and don't forget to give us one of these.